Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm Rachel Chamness. This is Live in 5D, where I'm live every other Thursday on my YouTube channel at Soundwaves Heal and also on Facebook. Today, back by popular demand, I will be talking about your spiritual titles. So, hi, Connie, and hi, everyone who's on. So, your spiritual titles are really important. What are they? Let me just finish going live here. What is a spiritual title? What I mean by this is that if you are in the spiritual realm and you work on others, if you're a Reiki practitioner, if you're a channel, you're a medium, whatever it is that you do in your light work, what do you call yourself? And I've done this workshop before and everyone just really loved it. I got so much feedback on it. I decided to do it again. And I'd love to hear what you call yourselves right now or how you come up with what you're going to call yourself. So let's see. Okay, here we go. Just trying to set up here a little bit. So what do you call yourself right now? So I call myself a shamanic channel and mentor. And I'll just tell you the arc of that. I've been through all kinds of titles like Fae, what do I call myself? Fae something. I can't even remember now. Some like facilitator or something. I've called myself a psychic mentor. I've called myself all kinds of, lightworker guide and things like that. Hi, everyone. I can see you all now. I've called myself many things over time. And, I think the hardest thing is that we come from a heart of service and nobody really wants to sound like they are, I don't know, in their ego. Nobody wants to sound like they're in their ego. We want to be humble and we don't want to really, oops, we don't want to really be in that space where we are over promoting ourselves sometimes, but it's important that you do have a good title because how are you going to attract your perfect client if you don't? Now, I am not a business coach. What I do is connect people to their spirit guides and helpers and help people to get their own information and help you get it from your spirit guides because that's how I built my business through trance channeling my own spirit guides. They told me what to do and that's what I did and that's how I got here. So you can do the same thing. And it's really important that you do. It's important for you and for how you work in this world. So let's see, I'm starting to see the comments here. So April says, I call myself a psychic and seer. She got the name before she got all her gifts. That's great. See? So let's talk about a little bit. So for myself, I never wanted to use the word shamanic because it can have so much emotion to it, and I truly believe what my guides tell me, shamanic is just an English word for working between the worlds, walking between the dimensions, really walking between worlds. And so it's the same thing as being a multidimensional healer. It's the same thing as working in higher dimensional realms. And one of my main guides that I use for healing is a shaman. And so what I do is shamanic healing, shamanic channeling healing. And so my guides really had to talk me into using the word shamanic. I don't call myself a shaman. I'm telling you that I'm using this healing to help my clients and my students. And I teach it. Of course, I teach everything that I do. So Shauna says, from your last workshop, I settled on divine truth, guide, and healer. You see, that's a great title. So when we are working with our titles, it's really important that we have clear and meaningful titles that convey what you do, how your clients receive from you, what's really important. And I think where we get caught up is trying to explain everything in a title. And it's too long. If your title's too long, you're not going to be able to fit it on things and people kind of tune out past the first, like after several words. Even mine, I think, is a little long. Shamanic channel and mentor. And the other thing is, you don't have to explain it all. You don't have to explain all of it in your title. You just have to put enough in your title for people to say, what is that? Or that sounds interesting. Or, I'd like to know more. And that's a good thing, because then they can learn more by going to check you out, look at your website, look at your Facebook page, talk to you and learn about it. And it's okay to ask someone about their titles. Okay, so Julie says, I do need help with that because I never feel comfortable with the master title for Reiki. Oh, but you should. See, if you're a master Reiki, you need to own that. So part of this too is owning it. So I had to own that word shamanic channel. I really did. It was hard for me. My guides really insisted on it, and it's made a big difference because it more accurately reflects what I'm doing. And that's what you need. So I'm a liquid Reiki shamanic sound healer. I'm a Reiki master teacher in psychic Reiki training, healing. I'm a master light language healer. I'm a certified shamanic healer too. And I'm all these things, but I can't just list all of that. You'd get so bored and like confused, right? So I call myself a shamanic channel because I channel shamanic realms, higher realms. I channel types of beings of light and their healing. And then I call myself a mentor because I teach other people to do the same. So let's hear your titles and let's keep talking. And I'm also going to channel Archangel Uriel. I did channel him last time I did this workshop too, because Archangel Uriel is a great being to bring forward to help you on your spiritual path, to clear up any questions that you have, to make things concise. And he's a perfect helper for this. So if you have something quirky in your title, that can also be good, like the word mystic, or someone use a word. And so if you use a word that someone's like, oh, what's that? Like I was saying before, that's great. You've created interest. Let's click and find out. You can always have your titles and then use the I help statement to clarify. And the I help statement's really important. We're not going to really do that in this workshop. But the I help statement is, how do you help? So my I help statement changes over time and I use it different ones. But my main one is, I help lightworkers rapidly expand into shamanic realms by channeling high dimensional light, healing, and guidance. Okay, so I said how I help and what that looks like. So do you have a I help statement? If not, then think about it. We'll work on that another time. But titles are really important. So sometimes it can feel silly to do that. And if you're being modest, that can be hard, like we talked about. We don't want to toot our own horn, but we kind of have to. And like I said, it's part of stepping into your success, to owning what you do. If you cannot say in a title what you do to help your clients, then how is anyone going to believe that you can? So you can do it. You're going to have to say it. Okay, so it's a struggle condensing complex roles into simple titles. So keywords are really important. Sometimes it seems, oversimplifying to use some words, but if they're keywords, then they come up. Now, there's some words that are overused, so using a keyword that's overused isn't really helpful either, Shauna says, yes, being modest or humble, that definitely can get in the way. All right. Let's see. All right, so put your titles and your certifications and what you do in the comments. And after I channel Archangel Uriel, we can workshop some of the titles and see what we can get. Okay, so are you an oracle? Are you a channel, a medium, a mystic, a Reiki healer? Are you a master, a light language specialist? Do you guide other people to light language? Do you guide people? Are you through coaching? Do you guide people to ascension? I used to call myself an ascension guide because I help people with ascension. Or do you only work with the dragons? Or do you work mostly with the dragons? Or do you work with the fae? Do you work with the angels? Do you work with goddesses? For me, this has been such a complex thing because I work with every type of being of the light, and I channel and trance channel many, many beings because I teach it. And I teach people how to trance channel many, many different beings. And you don't really see that a lot, but I think it's important to learn. And then, of course, through my courses, we settle on some main partner guides is what I call them, that you'll trance channel, unless you're a teacher like me, and then you might trance channel many. So do you work with all kinds of beings like me? Because that's, it does get complicated. So if you're a healer, What do your sessions feel like? Are you clearing? Are you resetting? Is it emotional or shadow work mostly? Are you problem solving? That's why we bring in Archangel Uriel today. I do a lot of problem solving. Are you up leveling to higher dimensions? Are you an idea queen like I am? Do you get lots of ideas for people? Frequencies, grids, do you up level people to that like I do? What are you doing? So I clear and heal people. I do deep clearing. I can clear homes, all of that stuff. But I do so much up leveling and teaching and mentoring that I actually have a Sound Waves Heal graduate, Sound Waves Heal practitioner, Missy Sullivan, who is in my scheduler, who does most of the house clearings and the clearing for other people, of deep clearing of really dark things, so that it can be a little bit more affordable for the client and they can have some sessions with Missy. And then if they want to do some of the work that I do, then come to me for that. So we kind of, uh, get, that's kind of how I do it in my business, because I do those things, but mainly I'm teaching them, I'm up leveling. So that's why I use the shamanic channel and healer, shamanic channel and mentor words, because that's really kind of what I'm doing here. So let's see. Tracy says, how do you find out what gifts you actually have been given? How do you find out what you are? I believe I'm a light worker, but unsure. You can mentor me through lessons, or at least evaluate and let me know if I'm on the right track. I feel as though I am a ship dodging torpedoes. Okay. So if you're in this place where you're like, what do I do? I don't know. I know I'm being called to the light. I'm being called to be a light worker, but I don't know what I do, or I'm comfortable working. Then for that, you can have a session, even a mini session, to just get on the path, or maybe you need a full session of clearing and messages from your guides and a place to start. That's that's like 90% of what I do in a first session with somebody, is that sort of thing. So I would recommend, finding someone, or if you feel that you connect with me, have a session. We'll go through it. We'll bring forward your guides, empower you to get your own messages, and help you to really go forward with your next step. Because I feel your spirit guides can kind of complicate things sometimes by giving you all the steps at once. So we just need your next step. So that's a great question to ask. So again, that goes back to my title. That's why my title works, because I'm a mentor and I help people find their paths, right? So Irene says, I'm a newbie Reiki healer, but I feel I am meant to do more. So yeah, I have lots and lots of classes, and I'm always happy to help people on a discovery call figure out a first class to take with me if they're interested. And if you do something like that, you should do the same thing. Be open to talking to people, to help them figure out where to start in your classes if you have many entry points. So my classes, you can start it in many ways, depends on what's best for you. So I do that for people too. And I make packages and things like that. That's a good thing to do too. Irene says, I am a newbie, recently got my Reiki 1 certificate, so I feel I'm meant to do more. So right, if you're Reiki 1, then that's a great place to start to practice. And Reiki 2 is the practitioner. So you'd want to go further with that. I have my course if you're interested. It's a psychic Reiki healing, and it includes many, many of my psychic healing techniques that I've downloaded. So Julie says, but are we masters if we are forever learning and evolving? So that's a great question. If you have your master certificate in something, but you don't feel that you are a master, then maybe you've done it pretty quickly. And I can understand that you might have that feeling that maybe you're not, as at that master level. And so this is what I actually suggest for that. When you feel that there's like a space between your certificate and what you do, then my question is always, how much have you practiced it? Because mostly what I have learned and I have downloaded from my spirit guides comes from the actual practice. So when I work on people, when I heal them, that's where I see all of that. And that's where you will too. So it's really important that you do work on this stuff, that you do healing for people, join a Reiki share, or find, hopefully in your Reiki, whoever you take Reiki from has a group full of people who will trade with you to up level your your talents by practicing. I have a group for my Reiki healers, and that's what they do. They can, it's up to them, but to pair up and send healing to each other or work on each other. And I often encourage them myself. I often pair them up myself and say, hey, you two should work on each other, because that's where you're going to find them most. So I have been trading my services with another light worker since I began this whole career, like in 2017. It's Gia Triunfo Hooper, who's amazing. And I taught her the trance channeling program. She's done all the program, and she already was a Reiki master, and she helped me build my Reiki master course, helping me make it for me. Our courses are different because we do things differently. And she really helped me so much, but mostly she helped me because we worked on each other constantly. We worked on each other every week at first before we had really many clients or any clients. And through that work, we both have learned so much, and we still work on each other every month. And that relationship has really helped me grow. I don't know if I would be doing any of this if it weren't for that relationship. And so, there's someone for you too to be healing and working with. We have Shauna here. She and Joelle work on each other, and they're an amazing group. And they even have a new podcast called Awkward Channeling that you should completely check out. Should check it out. It's on YouTube, and they're amazing. And it's this relationship that can really help you. All right, we have Tamara here. I help people heal their physical body and soul by raising their vibration with the power of food, rids your body of disease and inflammation. I am an intuitive energy medicine teacher and coach. Okay, so this is great. Let's talk about Tamara here. So she's an intuitive energy medicine teacher and coach. Now that's a mouthful, right? How can we condense that to make it a little bit more concise? So I think teacher and coach can be condensed into mentor. And I always have a question. Why do you all use the word intuitive? It feels like you're afraid to step into more channeling. This is not for you, Tamara, and I don't mean it personally, but I always feel like intuitive is a very light word. It's a good word to use, though, if your client is you're more bringing people from 3D to 5D. So if you feel that that's what you're doing tomorrow, and that's a perfect word. If you feel like your clients are more up-leveled, more 5D, then you might want to go a little further with the word intuitive. Just an idea. And I am channeling. So energy, medicine, healer, mentor. Yeah, nobody wants to use psychic. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm getting here. Shauna says, working with Joelle is amazing. So grateful for our practicing. And I used intuitive because I was afraid of the word psychic. And you don't have to use the word psychic. There's a lot of words for it. I'm going to channel Archangel Uriel, and I think he's going to help us more with these specific examples. So Tamara says, I have many muggles moving into 5D, so intuitive is softer for them. So then that's a perfect word. But you really want to think about your client. Who's your client, or who would you like your client to be? Who are you bringing in? Now, remember, who you'd like your client to be and who your client is. That could be a big step difference. So maybe you want your client to be this, but you're down here right now with this. How can you transform from who your client is? You don't want to alienate them, to like bring your clients from where they are to where you'd like them to be. And then now your client base is who you'd like your client base to be. Do you see what I mean? When you can up level your client to be the perfect client, that's also something that's possible. So you don't want to alienate your clients as you go to a different, something different, but you want to have a bridge. Okay, so I had a few other things to say before I bring in Uriel. Certification words don't translate as results so much. So using the word Reiki Master is something you can list, on your website or whatever, like, or under your certifications or under your abilities, but it doesn't need to be in the title. So titles should reflect one's main skills, personality, and authority. And you should think about the outcomes and feedback when devising your titles. These are some of the notes from my last workshops. We want to go a little further this time. And you can incorporate quirky or unique elements in titles to intrigue potential clients. So what's your main goal of the session? What is the feedback you receive? How does it feel? What is the result? And words to describe your personality. These are all great. Okay, so I'm going to bring in Archangel Uriel, have him speak with you about this, and then we will workshop your titles. And tomorrow, especially, I want to come back to you. Okay. I feel like once I bring Uriel in, it's going to be easier for him to answer you, to help you with that. Ooh, Uriel's very big energy. Hold on. I wish to speak on this topic in another vein of interest, which is that your titles are, yes, important, but they are not everything. And it is sometimes the mistake of trying to explain 100% instead of injecting your feel into the title. What you need in your title is something that feels like you. It is only needed to provide interest. And when the interest is there, then more about you can be learned and more can be discussed or read about to understand truly what you do. There are other ways. Listing your certifications, yes. Your I help statement, yes. These other ways to bring it forward. Your about me on your website or your social media. And other social media posts will really show your personality and how you help, being yourself, being authentic. These are all the secondary and most important parts. Your title is only to say, I identify with this title for your client. Your client says, oh, I feel something about this. Because remember, you are intuitive, you are psychic, you are channels, you are healers, you are light workers, you are oracles, you are mystics, and you are bringing in those who are like you. You are calling in the client who will understand your point of view, who will heal in a similar enough pattern that you can guide them. Even if you are not a healer, if you are a channel only, you are still guiding people through their paths, which include healing. And so it is important that you connect in this way. And so your title should give a feeling. What kind of feeling would you like to give? Would you like a feeling of authority? You are a master of what you do. In this way, mentor is a wonderful word. Or are you giving a feeling of comfort? That you are a safe place to come with problems, for you deal with healing, the deep shadow work and the deep clearing and healing, then something with a little more comfort. Or perhaps you want your title to reflect how strong your sessions are. You might be a deep healer of dark systems, and you want them to understand that. Then you may use a word that reflects that, such as a type of being you might use often, such as a dragon. This is a very great word for this. Or warrior comes to mind. Dragon warrior, as Missy Sullivan uses. This is a great example. So your next thoughts should be, how do you want your client to feel about you and how you can help them? How are you going to bring them to their next step? Is it with mentorship, by teaching them how to work with their energy at any level? Is it a leader, someone to watch and understand and follow in a way of a methodology? Is it a comfortable place to feel safe? Is it one who can help a complicated matter? How can you reflect this in your title? Is it lighthearted and easy? Then mystic or oracle is a great word for bringing forth a foretelling. If you have a very strong foresight and you often have your clients tell you that what you have told them has come true, then oracle is a great word. If you are working with mediumship of past loved ones, then using the word medium is helpful word because that's usually how it is translated. If you're working with spirit guides, then a spirit guide liaison, a angelic liaison, a dragon liaison. How are you liaising? Are you bringing through these beings for healing and channeling? Are you connecting these beings? Are you attuning others? Are you a connector? Are you uh, a healer of relationships? Let's speak more. I'll stand by for ideas to workshop your titles. Okay, this is Rachel. Shauna says, maybe I should play with my title more. That's the problem, right? We are always changing our title, but it's not a problem. It's a good thing because we need to. So Tamara says, my clients are all over the board. I have people who are more science oriented, from doctors all the way up to people who have already awakened. So Tamara, this is what we affectionately call a 3D snatcher. You're taking people from the 5D and bringing them from the 3D and taking them to the 5D. So intuitive's perfect. You're helping them heal themselves through food, ridding themselves of disease, bringing up their vibration. You could use vibration. Energy medicine is also, I think, is really good for you too. So Uriel is saying intuitive and energy medicine is really very similar, and you don't need both. They really like energy doctor for you, something like that. Energy doctor, energy. They love that vein. They're talking about you using like a really unique name. Like I'm saying they because I feel like there's more than just Uriel here. The energy doctor healer. So now remember, you just want to get them interested and have a very good I help. So you say, I am an energy doctor healer. I help. And then you can say this sentence that you said here. I help my clients raise their vibration with the power of food to release the body of disease and inflammation. It's okay. So let's see some more here. Who else wants to tell me what their guides, what their clients say after their healing? So that's another thing. When people give you some information about how your healing worked or how your oracle or channeling went or how they felt, that's a good way to work on it too. Okay, so Tamara says, I was afraid to use doctor since I'm not an MD. I would say that you could use it in a interesting word. So you weren't not going to use DR period. He's saying use the word doctor, like as if it's a name. You want to kind of name it like Dr. Energy or something like that. You're not going to use DR period because it's not a title, it's a name, he's saying. It's something to think about. I feel like there's more to it. And a lot of times with these public workshops, they don't want to give you the exact answer because they're giving you the right words to help you think of it so that it's not, so that it's yours and it's not, just on a public channel and now everyone's using it. Okay, I'd like to see more. Um, let's see what else people are saying about what they do. I'm scrolling back here. And, we talked about earlier, if you need to feel more comfortable with your titles, You really do need to own your titles. So if you feel like you're not there yet, then I mean, honestly, I come across many, many people who say I have all these certifications and I don't know how to use them. You don't need more and more and more certifications. Now, if there's a hole in what you've learned and you feel like you don't have all the information, then that's different. There might be a course that helps you fill in that hole, but wherever you're at now, you can start. You don't have to have all the certifications to start. And I see that too often. If you're having a block in starting your business because you feel you're not there yet, but you're at least somewhere to help someone. You don't have to have everything. You can start somewhere. And then in the practice, you're going to be downloading more. You're going to be learning more. And that's so true. I learned so much by actually working, and it was just barter. You can have discounted sessions. You can, think about how much you'd like to make an hour and look at other people who are at your level and how much they're charging, but really ask your spirit guides. I do that a lot for people. Check in with spirit guides to get a price for them, which I can help you do in a mini session if you want. Or, work with someone, try to get that idea if you have a hard time getting past your ego with your own questions with pendulum and channeling. I know it can be difficult when you have strong feelings about something, and we often have strong feelings about how much we charge. We don't want to charge too much. We don't want to charge too little, so you can think about that number you want to charge. I'd like to charge $111 an hour, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. So discounting it 60%, and people know they get what they pay for. So you can practice and know that people are like, oh, it's okay. I can pay $35 for a session. I can pay $50 for a session. I can pay $60 for a session, and know that, it's going to help. And, so you could just kind of think about it that way. So, okay, I've got a few more answers here. Irene says, I'm feeling the name mystical healer, but it also would like love and light in my title. Do you work with certain beings like angels? Because I hear from Uriel, angelic, mystical healer. Do you work with angels? Maybe this is something they want you to do for the future. Angelic, mystical healer. That's got a lot of love and light in it, even without using the words. Why don't you use the word lightworker? Mystical. And another thing you could do is use love and light in your business name. So I'm a mystical healer at light something. No, you don't want to say light and love, but something you can also do it that way is what your Uriel is saying. Here's ecstasy infusion. Ooh, energy healer, intuitive energy transformer, energy changer. Okay, so tell me more. Ecstasy infusion. Like, what do you see your clients like? What's the most usual session that you have and the outcome of it? So is this clearing work? It sounds like it. Are you giving messages and healing? My favorite thing. You've heard me talk about it before. I feel like they go together, tell me about that. And then Shauna says, I learned through my guides and the healers they brought into my path for many years. And the practicing brought in what I naturally have active in my being. Then I was able to get a couple of certifications. That's great. And Shauna is a client and student of mine. She's amazing. I think she is a great healer. I've actually gone to her before for healing. She's beautiful. Okay. So I saw April. April, are you still here? April says, I call myself a psychic and a seer. And she got her name before she got her gifts. Okay, so April, they love that psychic seer. Do you do a lot of foresight, like Uriel was talking about? If you do a lot of foresight, then oracle, seer. If you're seeing into the heart of the problem, seer is a good word too. It feels like for you might want another descriptive word like psychic, seer, and counselor. They're saying so, and I've met you, April. I think that might be what they're saying. Are you finding that you're giving a lot of counseling through your healing through your guides? You might have a counselor guide like Archangel Azrael, or Azrael, Archangel Azrael. Archangel Azrael. So, psychic, seer, and counselor, they're saying for you might work, or some, it's a point that we can jump off of. Um, okay, so ecstasy infusion says still unsure, trying some things out. Feels like bringing more room for the dark energy to be made aware and change. So, sounds like you're clearing dark energy. Um, That's stuff that I teach a lot in my Reiki, psychic Reiki healing course. So I do this a lot myself. So, okay, let's see what Uriel says for you. So he's talking about transforming the light. He would like you to use light with transformation, light transformation, uh, energy reset. These might be keywords for you that he's giving. Um, they even like energy resetter, energy. Uh, and they like the word vibrational reset for you as well. Ooh, I like that too. Um, if you and that's a good word. If you feel like you're helping people like clear out dark energy and come to back to center, reset is a good word too. Okay, I think that uh, for you, ecstasy infusion, you need to think a little bit more. If there's more to think about to really bring it all together. Um, but if you're healing, and clearing, then you might want to make sure that's somewhere in there as well. If you're channeling and making people aware of what it is so they can change it, if you're not doing the healing, then well, I would suggest you learn how to do the healing. I'd love to help you with that with my psychic Reiki healing course. But I really love channeling and healing together. I think it's a perfect mix for the 5D and something we should all think about. But that so think about that. Like how are you how are you helping and bring them through there. So feels like bringing more room. Okay, so you're shining the light on what needs to be changed. Yeah. This is a lot easier one-on-one than a lot of people at once, but I do this all the time, lickety split in a session. Okay, so there's something about shining a light. Let's come back to that. You do a little brainstorming and come back. And let's look at Luana here. Luana says, I am, and we'll get to Miriam next. I am expanding from crystal energy and essential oil blends, Reiki to channeling energy healing, and have not really come up with a title. So the words that are most important here, he's saying Archangel Uriel, crystal, Reiki, channeling, healing. He really likes something like crystal, Reiki, channel, and I'm a crystalline. Ooh, that's another word for light for someone earlier who wanted the word light. Crystalline energy, crystalline healing channel, crystalline healing channel, something like that. They want you to work with those words a little bit. We can come back to that. You can, okay, come back into, here's ecstasy. Okay, yeah. Oh, we said that, we saw that already. Okay, let's bring in, what's next is, we have a few more here. It's Miriam, says Reiki Master Shadow Work, raise vibration and communication with higher self entity release. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is a deep healing and clearing and entity release. So let's just bring in Archangel Uriel with that one. They really like something for you that's like what was it? Vibrational alignment. They like some word that's like clearing, means clearing, but isn't clearing. Vibrational Ooh, vibrational alignment, clarity. And in your I help statement, something about bringing, did you see that? I think I just saw a fairy. Bringing bringing the so they're not using the word crystalline, Miriam, but they're showing me that it is similar to thinking about like how you would like a cloudy crystal becoming clearing. It's like clearing of the vessel. So, oh, it's coming so fast and leaving so fast. I have a hard time holding on to it. Vibrational alignment reset. Vibrational. All right, I'm better one-on-one, but hopefully this is helping. I mean, last time I did the spiritual titles, I thought the same thing. I was like, gosh, I'm so much better one-on-one. I don't think it was very good. But then everyone, I mean, I've been getting, it was months ago and people are still telling me how much they love it. So I think it must be helpful. Okay, so Irene says, should I remove mystical and add angelic healer? Do you work with the angels? Was my question. If you do, which Uriel seems to think, then yeah, I think so. Angelic. So give me the whole thing again. Remind me, because I just see mystical healer, angelic. You could say angelic light healer as well, of course. Okay, and then Kara, I see yours, and Carissa, I see yours. Let's see if Miriam, does that help, Miriam? We can do a little bit more if you put a note. Okay, so Carissa says, what about vibrational healer and channeler for me? I'm not sure about it as I haven't offered any services before, but I have Reiki and an angel healing certificates. And you're working with channeling with me right now, and it's been really successful for you. And I'm sure, I mean, you just started, so I'm sure in a month or so you're going to feel, really, uh, you're going to be feeling like you can start doing it for other people. I bet. I mean, it's up to you. It depends. Some people, it takes them a while before they get there. It depends how your guides work with you. So for you, Carissa, they're really saying for you, you might be helping people with spirit guides more than you think. So, in angelic vibration, vibrational something channel, vibrational. Oh, it's something like up leveling, vibrational, and I like a reset for you too. See, now it sounds weird, like vibrational reset channel. You don't want to use channeler. You want to say channel, or you can use healer, but channeler is too many syllables. So you want to say channel. For you, I think. So if you hear that, yeah, you see spirit guides a lot when offering Reiki sessions. So ascension, channel, and healer. I see. Well, that just went off of what I was doing. Let's see. What did I say? Vibrational. There was something that they were saying. Okay, since you're helping with spirit guides, then yeah, ascension channel. Okay, so actually they say what's good for you, Carissa, is what's the name of your business. The name of your business has, if it has heal in it, then you can say I'm an ascension channel at blah 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 heal or something like that. You know what I mean? So excuse me for my blobbity blobbity, but you know what I mean? Like there's something to that. Because remember, you will. Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness. I am a shamanic channel and mentor at Sound Waves Heal. Now, I know Sound Waves Heal is not the greatest, but I love it and I'm keeping it. It's a really more of a nod to how I teach people to trance channel and that I use a lot of sound healing. So, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. You can use the different words in your title, in the name of your business, and then in your I help statement. Okay, so Irene says, I feel I do work with angels and the Holy Spirit, I've been told. So now when I channel, I have a hard time remembering what I said because I'm channeling it from Uriel. So Irene, you do need to use angelic is what they're saying. Use angelic. So put together something that I just said with angelic and pop it in here and we'll work on it more so I can remember what I said, what I channeled. Lawana, this is great to be open and receiving feedback to create actual movement for myself. I think it is. Like I said, it's about really stepping into your own power, and that really helps. All right, so Krista says, so far I've picked emerging frequencies, but I could change it. Emerging frequencies. I'm hearing vibrational wellness, but I'm not sure if that's for you. I think that was for someone before. So someone here that I talked to, they like vibrational wellness. I think for you, emerging frequencies. I think more emerging's not strong enough. He's saying something else about frequencies, like transforming frequencies or something like that. And here's Jody. Ooh, here's a long one from Jody. I do angelic and psychic Reiki, mediumship, Akashic records, chakra activation method practitioner, and has been guided to what she believes is shamanic healing last few years. I go into other dimensions, help others collect remnants of their soul that was left in past life and help them to get to the root cause of their emotional, physical pain. Have had others explain as multidimensional healing. Yes, that's the same as what I would call shamanic healing too. Would multidimensional energy healer work for a title, or any advice is much appreciated. They like the word guide for you, that you're guiding people to, because of the root cause thing also. So they like that too. They like multidimensional healing guide for you. And guide can mean many things. It can mean your teacher, or can mean you're guiding them to their own answers. So that's what they like for you. So work on that. Okay. And then, of course, like I said, Archangel Uriel's giving you a step to finish a little bit more on your own. So it's not like everyone's taking your title from the from a live that's, perpetually forever on YouTube. So okay. Oh no, here we are. Crystalline angelic healer for Irene. They like for you crystalline angelic healing as could be like the name of your healing work. Like mine's called Liquid Reiki Shamanic Healing, or Shamanic Sound Healing. Liquid Reiki is what I call mine. Crystalline angelic healing. And they're also using a word facilitator. Crystalline angelic. I think healer is a good one. And I think it's gonna go a little further as you think about it. Jen says, I guess I'm just Jen at this point. I'm still learning, but this is all fascinating. I'm glad that you think so. All right. Was there anyone else that we sort of stopped halfway and need a little bit more? Or did I miss someone? I'm scrolling back. Kara, if you have time, I'd love some guidance with a title. I am a new healer, Reiki master. I give messages, use crystal and sound healing in my sessions as well. I do often find myself mentoring and counseling clients. Okay. This is for Kara April. Let's see what Uriel says to me. I use crystals and so I do a lot of these things too, like they don't all fit in the title. So again, back to, your like what's your main skill? What's your personality? What's a word that brings people to say, I resonate with the feeling this title gives me. So now I want to learn more about Kara. I'm going to click on her, page, read her I help statement, see what the name of her company is. That's more places where you're not overwhelming them with words in one place. So you want your title again to give a feeling. They think especially for you a feeling of like peace, or it would be really important in what you're talking about. Sorry, we're on Kara. So and they think sound healing is important for you too. I think Azrael's also here because I called him in by saying his name like 40 times. Well, he's always here anyway. Okay, so Reiki Master, Crystal Sound Healing, Crystal Sound, Spirit. Okay, wait, that's someone else. Okay. Um Crystal Sounds. I like that word, Crystal Sounds. Do you have a name for your business? Um So you could use Reiki in your title. Remember, we're going to change our titles as we go. So it's something for now, and you can always like move to something else later. So um, crystal sound healing, crystal healer, crystal healing, crystal healing guide. They like that too. Brilliantly centered. Perfect. That's great. I love that title. Um, yeah. Crystal guide, whatever I just said. See what I mean when I channel? I just can't hold on to it. Carissa says, spirit guide communicator, and vibrational healer. Now it's too many syllables, so we got to cut it down. So, spirit guide. You can't use spirit communicator and healer because then that sounds like you're talking to dead humans. So, dearly beloved. So you want to say, spirit communicator and healer. I do like vibrational. Vibrational. But maybe that's implied, right? Spirit guide, communicator, spirit guide, channel, and healer has less syllables. Spirit guide, healing channel. Spirit guide, healing channel. Aha. I like that. What do you think? This is what Uriel's saying. He's just saying a lot in my head right now. Okay, so Shauna says, I'm thinking I can update Divine Truth Healing Guidance Channel. Is it helpful? I do like Divine Truth Healing Guidance Channel too. Angelic Light Healer. Beautiful. That's perfect. Andrew's here. He says, hi. Quantum Energy Healer Alchemist. Okay, alchemist is a great word for changing, the vibration of your client. What's the name of your business, Andrew? Quantum Energy Healer is wonderful. Are you helping people quantum jumping? Or like you're using quantum, I guess, like shamanic and multidimensional, working in these realms, right? They think that you could just use quantum energy healer, but have alchemist in the title of your business. So, hi, I'm Andrew Wilson. I'm a quantum energy healer at Alchemy Light, blah blah blah, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's see what they're saying is when your title's too long, it's like, but but if you have a short title it kind of breaks it up. Magic and Miracles Healing and Alchemy is the name of oh, that's a nice name of your long but beautiful Magic and Miracles Healing and Alchemy. Okay. Well, changing, I'm not going to guide anyone change their business name because that could be complicated, but yeah, Magic and Miracles. I like that. Healing and Alchemy. I think quantum energy healer, alchemist. It's not too long. I think that's probably a very good name for you. So you've channeled it well. All right. Anybody else? I am about done with this live. It's kind of going way past. I've got another session to do. Thank you, Kim. Thank you for liking my name. Those sound waves heal. It was given to me by my spirit guides. It was and I was like, I don't know about this name. It's weird, but of course, I got such a feeling that I should use it. And then I got some bad advice to change the name. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And it means a lot to me because we do use light waves that are sound waves, like sound waves. And, I come from a singing background and I use so much sound healing, and we do use that for channeling and healing. So, in the various ways, I think it really does fit what I do. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, if anyone wants some specific help, like I said, I'm much better in a mini session or a session with you to bring forth bring forth your guides and help you with this. But I hope that Uriel has given you somewhere to go and somewhere to think about how you can add to your name and not overcomplicate things. So basically what they're saying is the shorter is better. Again, just a recap, you want to create interest. You don't have to explain everything, but a feeling, you want it to have a certain feeling where people say, "Oh, that's good." Like I'd like my name, Shamanic Channel and Mentor, to give a sort of feeling of that there's a lot of knowledge. I channel a lot of knowledge and that, I can mentor and help in any case. And so that's kind of the feeling that I like to impart with it. And Sound Waves Heal is a little quirky. So it also has a little bit of my quirky personality in there. And, this kind of gives a feeling. So you want to have it. I'm Rachel Chamness at Sound Waves Heal. I am a shamanic channel and mentor, right? And then I can go on. You're still interested? Well, great. Because where's my I help statement? I want to read the same one I gave you earlier. I help lightworkers rapidly expand in shamanic realms by channeling high dimensional light, healing, and guidance. Okay, that gives you a really nice overview, but I didn't, it was kind of like, you like that? Hear a little bit more. Do you like that? Hear a little bit more. It doesn't feel like it's too many words. It's still a lot of words, but we want to keep our titles a little bit more concise. So I hope that helps. And again, I'm not really a business coach in any way. I just channel all types of beings of light. So this is really brought to you by Archangel Uriel. And I really believe that by channeling beings of light, you can get any of the answers that you seek. And so that's why I teach this in my trance channeling courses, which start at the beginning. So anyone who wants to learn, I'd love to teach you. And also, if you haven't heard about my upcoming retreat, May 1st through 5th, learn to channel or expand your channeling greatly. Get to know the Fae deeply at my Smoky Mountain retreat, May 1st through 5th. You'll find it everywhere on my channel. And I'd love to have you. And thank you so much for coming today. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll be talking about 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 12th dimensional chakras that we have in our system, in our field. There's more than just the 3D chakras. I think this is really important to know as Reiki practitioners. So that's what I'll be talking about next time. Okay. Thanks for coming and have a great day. Bye.